Hey guys, welcome to the Final Whistle podcast. We're a bit deflated. We just watched the Reds revert back to their old selves. That Villa game and Real Madrid game were certainly a flash in the pan. They lost 3-0 to Man City. Oh God, I don't even know what to make of the performance and the result and the refereeing. Oh my God, overall, Ben, it was just a horror show.
Yeah, it was kind of back to reality, wasn't it? I think we all not to say that we got a kind of false sense of hope, because there was every reason to be excited after those two performances, but today was just straight back to how we were 10 days ago. And I tweeted in the first half. I mean, you wouldn't think Liverpool would just beat Real Madrid during the week. The confidence wasn't there at all, and I was fuming that they put the F1 on. The F1 was on at the same time as the match, and now I'm wishing I just watched the F1 now.
I wish I was into F1 in hindsight, I wish I watched something else. But yeah, it was a really, really slow, laboured performance, Ben, and it was a really, really horrible watch. I thought Liverpool started off really ropey and shaky as well, and I think as I was watching, I was kind of willing for them to get out of that funk and that slump. I understand that they've had a game of Champions League football, Real Madrid. I know that it was a really, really hard fought out kind of contest and battle in terms of like the amount of work they got through, in that game. He started with the same 11, which I looked at the team and I was like, yeah, I'm happy with that. They played really well, but they did look really leggy and they looked really tired. And, it kind of showed with some of the decision making or lack thereof. I mean, what did you make of it overall? Because I just felt like with this Liverpool side now where they are, if they start bad, I don't really have much hope and confidence that they can swing things around, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, for so many years now, Liverpool could go a goal behind and you don't really worry about it. But this Liverpool team, I think, once they go 1-0 down, it's completely different. And it's hard to criticise Slot because I think nobody had a problem with the starting lineup. I think that's the lineup that we all wanted to see. Maybe it was just a case of tired legs because I thought the press was non-existent. And I mean, Man City's team in general, I think that's possibly the worst Man City team in the last 9 years, and they ran rings round us. So I mean, a midfield of Bernardo Silva and Nico Gonzalez shouldn't be outrunning you, in my opinion. But and also you've got the whole thing of Liverpool had an extra day of rest actually than Man City this week. Man City played on Wednesday, albeit against a far weaker team in Dortmund. But it's just so frustrating, and little things like I'm surprised McAllister stayed on for as long as what he did when you've got Curtis Jones on the bench, who's looked so good recently. Perhaps you give him the benefit of the doubt that Jones has just come back from injury himself, so maybe that's part of it. But the problem with this Liverpool team at the minute is when we're bad, we're really, really bad. And then you look at Arsenal and Man City, and even their floor is above everyone else's ceilings. So, yeah, I mean, it's an awful result to go in the international break off.
I mean, what did you actually make of obviously, first of all, there's a penalty shout, they get it. And you know what, the build up to that, I just remember Szoboszlai just putting in a load of blocks and watching it live. They didn't do the whole replay of all the blocks that he put in, but I was like, he's going to give a penalty any minute now. It just felt like he was just blocking it with his arms. I just felt like there was just too much going on. And of course, they pulled it back and they gave a pen. It was so soft then, the fact that he had to, review it so many times. But at the same time, we've seen them given. And it's, for me, I mean, we'll talk about everything, but it's just, I don't understand the rules.
Yeah, it's one of those where you see so many times where players get clipped slightly. I think there was actually one earlier today against Dan Burn in the Newcastle match where he does clip his heel, and the kind of judge that the Brentford player made too much of it. I think there was one in Brighton Palace where Ruta gets booked for diving, but there is slight contact there, and this seemed the same to that, and then they overturn it and give a penalty. It's a bit messy for me. I think that's what's so annoying, is the inconsistency of all these decisions, because for every decision they give, within 30 seconds you can go on your phone and find one the exact same that they did give, and it's just so annoying. But on the penalty, I find it hard to be too agitated by it. I mean, I don't know what Canada is doing on that one. When we talk about causing your own problems, I mean, that's just schoolboy stuff. The other one, though, one. The other refereeing decision does really infuriate me, though.
Yeah, and we'll get to that. And actually, I completely forgot about the mix-up that led up. It was such a bad game that you kind of forget what happened in like the first 15 minutes. Yeah, the mix-up there. I felt like that pretty much set the tone for the kind of performance Konate was going to have this game. I mean, I'm not going to single him out, but overall, everybody was pretty horrendous. We saw Conor Bradley have an absolutely incredible game against Vinicius Jr. and Doku just ran rings around him. Let's just be brutally honest. Robertson, as great as he is, looked a bit leggy today, and that's given his age. Mamashvili scores the penalty. I mean, saves the penalty, and it's not the best strike by Haaland, but you love that confidence for Mama to get that save. And then they score a goal, and again, Konate, the faintest of touches, should have been a bit more robust in those situations. And I think that's what the frustrating thing is. There's no need to finesse that, just
just put your head through it.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit for Bradley today because I thought some of the stuff they done, like on that one where Konate messes up, I think he defends that really well. And Doku is a real handful because he's physical as well. Bradley against Vinicius isn't going to get into a physical battle with you and just stand him up, whereas Doku was like choking his arms everywhere. It's really, really tricky to deal with. But yeah, it's just one of those days, I guess. But Liverpool are just having far too many of them at the minute. And today was such a big opportunity after Arsenal dropping points yesterday. And I've always said if they extend the gap before Liverpool cut it, then I think it's going to be very, very hard for Liverpool to bring it back. And the fact that they've dropped points and still extended the lead, that's got to really hurt Liverpool. And yeah, I mean, we'll see where we are Christmas, but at the minute, I think until we see consistent forms, as you can kiss goodbye at the Premier League title this season.
Absolutely. And then, of course, Erling Haaland with we spoke about the goal and the stunning header that he scored. Now you want to talk about the other decision that really frustrated you, and I think it frustrated a lot of people. Virgil van Dijk with the cheekiest of headers, Salah kind of assist, and he just puts it past the keeper. Robertson, it gets all pulled up because Robertson is impeding the goalkeeper vision, or he's in play. I mean, what did you make of that? Because there's been so many instances where that has happened, and for me, he was nowhere near impeding Donnarumma's eye line. I think Donnarumma could see everything that was happening in front of him. It just felt very. I mean, don't get me wrong. In that moment, I thought Liverpool were the worst side still. But I was like, oh, this is good. Yeah. Maybe a goal makes it a bit even. I'm not sat here thinking, oh, we lost because of that. So I think we played horrendous throughout the whole game, but that was quite a significant moment in the game. And, I was hoping that might have set the stall for Liverpool to put in a better performance. Give me your thoughts about the officiating, the refereeing, and just how frustrating that was for you. Because I was just like, oh. And, I actually thought it's not our day.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Because I feel like the second you bring up the refereeing decision, people think that that's you saying Liverpool lost because of that. It's not, because Liverpool were by far the second best team today and deserve to lose. But like you say, it's 1-0 at that point. If that goal goes in, the game could easily change, and it should have. I find the decision absolutely bizarre because I don't know if you saw at half time, PGM, they got the rules up and there's 5 bullet points, and not a single one of them he actually impedes. So I don't know what point they're trying to make. And I mean, like I said, with the penalty one, you can go on your phone and find so many examples where players have done the exact same thing, actually worse than that, and it hasn't been given. So the two things can be true where, yes, that would have changed the game or could have changed the game, but also Liverpool were rubbish. But it's just, I don't know what is he meant to do? I mean, the whole point of ducking is to not interfere with the game. And Donnarumma's getting nowhere near it anyway. So, I mean, he's 3-4 yards away from the keeper. And just for context, I looked and, it just happened to be Man City players. But, Bernardo Silva against Wolves last year, where he's literally touching the goalkeeper when the header's took. And that's not deemed as offside. And there's one, I think, where Akanji jumps over the ball the exact same way. And that's deemed as not offside. So it's just so infuriating when you see kind of the inconsistency, and well, it's what we've come to expect with the Premier League referees now. I feel sorry for them in a way because they all hung out with dry. I don't think any of them are briefed properly on what they're doing, and the support that they're meant to get from VAR just never seems to come.
No, it doesn't. It's not running smoothly at all. And I mean, things just got really worse for Liverpool. I mean, we saw Konate get some really, horrendous look on a goal, and then our captain Virgil van Dijk, same thing, right? It kind of clips his Gonzalez takes a long range shot, and it kind of like clips his heel or his foot, and it goes in, and you just see the reaction of Virgil van Dijk when he sees his keeper being beat by that, and he just puts his hands in his head like, oh God, and you're like, yeah. At that moment, I was just like, one goal seemed hard, two seems impossible, and it got worse because it was 3. But I mean, it was just horrendous, and Doku, I think, deserved to get that goal. But I mean, just give me your thoughts on the build up to the goals, your mindset, and how are you feeling about it all?
Yeah, I think Van Dijk doesn't cover himself in a lot of kind of glory with that one. I don't know about you, but there's nothing wrong with chucking yourself in front of a shot. I don't get this whole flicking your foot out, because it causes more harm than good. Because even if you block it, like he gets a touch on it, it's not enough to actually stop the ball. You're just diverting it elsewhere. And also just get out to. You saw them teeing up the shot for about 5-10 seconds before he takes it, and I think there's Ekatike who half presses, and the rest are just kind of stood on the edge of the box, and yeah, it just summed them up. There was no kind of urgency to press Man City's midfield at all throughout the game, not just on that goal. And then the third goal is a brilliant goal from Doku. Again, did they give him too much time to shoot, or is it one of those where you let him to shoot because the chances of him pulling it off is kind of slim? But with the way Doku was playing today, I think the second he shot, you knew what was coming.
Yeah, and also, what did you make of of course, in the second half, Slot did make some changes at the beginning of the second half, and we saw the likes of Gakpo coming in for Ekatike and Kirkes coming on for Robertson. And there were a few chances in the second half. What did you make of them? Do you feel like they were decent chances that maybe the likes of Gakpo should have done better? I mean, what did you make of that whole thing? Do you think maybe the course would have been a bit different if we had somebody a bit more clinical, a bit more cutthroat, in front of goal there?
Yeah, I think it was a mistake to bring Ekatike off, to be honest. I think I would have just done a straight swap Gakpo for Wirtz, to be honest. And that's not. I've seen loads of people kind of criticising Wirtz. I thought he was really running his socks off, and I mean, there's only so much you can do when a Man City player hacks you down every single time you get the ball. But that's a whole different conversation. I thought there were some good chances. There was one where Szoboszlai puts it across the box, and there's just no one there. Where if Ekatike is on the pitch, he's there. Obviously, Salah goes close, and that Gakpo chance, he's got to bury that. So Liverpool had the chances. It was just one of those days, and I think you've got £200 million worth of strikers.
One shot on target, though, Ben. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's another thing. You kind of just want them to shoot more. There's so many times where we hide on the edge of the box and where we'd work it into a promising area instead of crossing or shooting, we'd play it back, and then the difference is their midfield was right out to our midfield every time we done that. Every time they done that, we were standing off them. So yeah, I mean, the closest we probably could. That shot on target, I'm assuming off the top of my head, is the Szoboszlai one, isn't it? Where he forces a save out on Donnarumma, and that's from just shooting from just outside the box. And I mean, we were never going to break them down, especially once you take off your striker. So yeah, I mean, why not have a few more attempts? I thought Salah was unlucky with that one that goes just wide, but yeah, we didn't deserve anything from the game, not even close.
Right, Ben, I don't think I want to talk much about Liverpool after this. We move on quickly.
Yeah.
All right, then where should we go to next?
Let's talk. We touched on Arsenal dropping points. Not that it really matters to us anymore, but that was a really good game.
It was a good game of football. I think I kind of lost your sound there for a second, Ben.
Is it okay now?
You're perfect. Yep, that's perfect. Yeah, it was a really good game, right? So, I didn't want to drink. I'm going to tell you what I did in this game, right? So it was the 5:30. And I was like, I don't want to jinx Sunderland. You know, like, because obviously I had high hopes for Liverpool. They go 1-0, and I'm like, I'm not going to watch. I'm going to resist. I was like, no, go on. You have to watch it. I put it on, and they're doing well. And then, like, you know, Arsenal are applying some kind of pressure. Saka gets a goal, and Trossard gets a second. I'm like, oh, bloody hell, I've done it again. I have done it again. And can we just take a moment to appreciate that goal at the end by, oh my gosh, like, did you see how he just, oh my, your dad must have been like overjoyed with that. You were there, right?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I was there for that one. You know what? It's something that's been absolutely amazing this season. The atmosphere was incredible. And you know, the one thing someone can really take from it was a mistake led to the first goal where they just got pressed and caught on the ball, which can happen. Yeah. And then Trossard scored an absolute screamer. So they were really unlucky. I didn't think Arsenal were great. Typical kind of Arsenal. A lot of the ball, didn't really do a lot with it. But Sunderland, what a team that have the perfect balance of doing the dirty work and the nasty side, as some would say, and then just switch to playing lovely football, playing through the lines. And yeah,
did you see that by Ballard at the end?
Yeah, I tell you what, so in the Championship he was brilliant for Sunderland, and he got this kind of reputation of like big, kind of clumsy, like really good defender, but the question was whether he could start with the Premier League. He has been absolutely amazing. Going forward, I mean, that finish for the first goal is ridiculous, and then that block in the last minute just sums him up perfectly. And he gets the flick on for the equaliser. Yeah. And he was in Arsenal's academy and didn't even play a single game for Arsenal, so he will absolutely love that.
I did not know that. So there's a good little nugget of information. Yeah, that's a bit of revenge for you. But you know, it was a fantastic game of football. And then, of course, after that, of course, everyone knows it finished 2-2. Not that it really affects or improves Liverpool's chances to anything, but good to see that, you know, a team can stick it to Arsenal and take some points from them as well. And you don't really necessarily have to be an elite team like a Man City, shall we say? You know, so you know, I'm sure a lot of teams will take stock from what Sunderland are doing. I feel like they might be an inspiration team in the Premier League this season. And then we had the 8 o'clock kickoff, and we know at the moment the new manager hasn't taken off on Wolves. It was 0-0 at half time, and then Chelsea just ran away with it in the second half. I thought this one might be interesting because obviously Chelsea were quite disappointing in the Champions League, you know, going to Karabakh, which is just hilarious, albeit they were away from home and it is a tough place to go. But yeah, they won. Wolves just look absolutely dreadful. What did you make of the 12:30? I thought it was a really good game of football between Spurs and United. 2-2 it finished, but what were your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a bit of a crazy game, and I've seen loads of Tottenham fans giving Thomas Frank stick. I'm not sure on that. I think they're kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but yeah, it's just one of those games. You kind of saw it coming. They're both kind of hit and miss and a bit all over the place, but they've both got like the quality to harm teams as well. So yeah, I think Tottenham will be kicking themselves in the way that they chucked it away. But a point against Man United with the way they're playing at the minute isn't that bad. I think we kind of need to chill out a little bit. One thing that I don't know whether anyone else has noticed, but Tottenham's recruitment has been absolutely shambolic. The amount of money they're wasting. I mean, Xavi Simons and I mean, Tell scores, but I'm not sure on him either. I don't think they've kind of given Frank the best tools to kind of succeed there so far. But I'm intrigued to see what people think about Man United. Have they really turned the corner, or are they getting carried by, you know, and Bremel's on fire at the minute in a bit of a purple patch? It'll be so interesting to see how their season kind of pans out, because I'm not convinced entirely, but they keep on grinding out results, and I mean, they're above us, I'm pretty sure now, so we can't really criticise them too much.
No, you can't. And I think, you know, Richarlison scoring that absolute wonder goal, you know, Yeah. I think we seem to have lost Ben there. I think we've got some few technical issues, but yeah, Richarlison, he scored a goal that was absolutely wonderful, and only for Man United to kind of stick it to them at the end. Those were like the main big things and their results. Not ideal and not great for obviously Liverpool. It would have been nice had Liverpool done something, but guys, that was the Final Whistle podcast. I think we're a bit done. We're a bit deflated. We seem to have lost Ben as well. But thank you so much for watching. There's loads of content on AI, so do check that out. There's like the Gags Tandon show, there's Raw, and there'll be loads of aftermath about this as well. It's international break. Just take care and look after yourselves. And we'll be back. Oh, Ben, are you back? Yeah, guys, I think we have lost Ben there. But guys, take care. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next episode.